Hi guys, it's Zoe and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing amazing. Today I'm going to show you how I installed this wig. It's from Wiggins Hair. It is 26 inches, but we'll get into all of that in a bit. I'm going to show you how I installed it from start to finish with every single tip or trick included, every single tip in the book. I'm going to teach you guys how to bleach your wigs, pluck them, style them on the mannequin head and properly install it onto your wig so that it looks like this. I'll also get into how I do my baby hairs and basically all the secrets your hairstylist doesn't want you to know. But yeah, I'm obsessed with this hair. As you can see, it is so silky. It is moving like water. I just feel like you can't go wrong with a bust down black wig, especially during winter. If you're a UK babe, you know our UK uniform is a bust down black wig, Yagi tracksuit and a fur jacket. That is like the UK babe uniform. And it's the uniform for a reason because like, look at this. I'm obsessed. Yeah, if you guys want to know how I achieved this look and all my secrets on how to create the best install of your life, make sure you keep on watching. By the way, I just want to add a disclaimer because I know someone's going to be in the comments like, oh my god, I can still see your lace. You can't see the lace, it's the light. I swear on my life. I've got some big box filming light right here and it like reflects onto the wig, but I promise you guys, this is giving scalp. As in, it's giving scalp and you can't see it in real life. So just don't mind that, and especially like throughout the video, just don't watch it, okay?
Are you ready? I know you see me standing here.
So jumping right on into the video, like I said before, this wig is from Wiggins Hair. This is the little bag it came in, and I'm just going to unbox it for you so you can see what I got in the packaging. I got a little edge brush, I got a wig melt band, some lashes, and I also got a wig cap and another like headband thing. So the specs of this hair, it is a 13x4 26 inch 100% human hair wig, and it has HD lace. This is how it came packaged, and as you can see, there is a lot of parting space, guys. Now when you're investing in your wig, you want to make sure you try your best to find one with as much parting space as possible, and by this I mean side to side, front to back. This will enable you to do as many looks and styles as you can. You can go for a middle part, a deep side part, and yeah, you really have the option to play around with how you want to style your wigs. I'm just going to put a picture up on the screen of the two different types that are most commonly found. But yeah, just really do your research in the type of lace that you think will suit you best. But I personally prefer these types. Moving on, as you can see, the knots of this wig aren't super big. They are very manageable. Knots are those tiny little black dots that you can see. That is where the wig has individually been placed onto the wig and knotted together, which is why we call them knots. Now, those tiny little black dots you don't want in your install. So in order to get rid of those, we often bleach our wigs. Here is a closer look of what the hair looks like on the mannequin head as well, just so you can get a better idea of how this hairline looks. Now, this hairline is very beautiful. It bleached very well. I didn't have any issues in terms of the lace or the lace quality. Now, for my bleach, I always use my Jerome Russell Be Blonde bleach. I just find it easier because it's pre-measured and all I have to do is pour out a little sachet and the corresponding developer into a little pot. Now I mix it together on a spoon and I turn my wig cap inside out and I place the bleach onto the wig. Now you want to make sure that you mix your bleach mixture, so it's about the consistency of toothpaste, I'd say. You don't want it to be too runny because runny bleach will end up seeping into the lace and dyeing the actual hair. You do not want to get this bleach onto the hair. You only want it onto the lace in order to get rid of those black dots. So you want to be very careful. Don't apply too much pressure either. Again, this is gonna lead to the bleach seeping through. Once I've placed all my bleach on, I leave it to develop for about 35 minutes while keeping a super close eye on the knots lifting. Now in order to do this, I also like to take mine off the mannequin head so I can really monitor it closely, because the last thing you want is over process and over bleach knots. Once the 35 minutes have passed, I wash out my wig. I literally use any random shampoo that I have and conditioner. Don't use your expensive stuff. And also, if you have textured hair, avoid using any heavy shampoos such as Shea Moisture, Cantu, like anything that will weigh down the hair, because you have to remember this is straight hair. You don't want to use something that's going to weigh down the hair and make it look heavy, if that makes sense. So I would recommend using any shampoos and conditioner that were made for silkier textured hair. Moving on to plucking the wig. I usually let my wigs air dry before moving on to plucking them. As you can see, I've just used my spray bottle and sprayed the entire hairline. I like to saturate it completely. And then I section off all the hair so that I can see exactly where I need to pluck the wig. Plucking the wig is what is going to elevate your look and is what is going to elevate the realism of your wig, because you do not want to have a super dense hairline. Natural hairlines often have imperfections, they're never completely straight, and they almost look slightly thinned out. Not too much, but basically just want to get rid of any harshness that may be present in the front of your wig. Now, this has been my plucking technique for a couple years now, and it has worked a charm every single time. All I do is wet the hair, grab some sharp tweezers, pluck. As you can see, you want to keep your tweezers moving consistently. If you keep your tweezers in the same place, it's going to cause bald spots, and you do not want bald spots in your wig, okay? So I just pluck, comb the hair back, and then re-wet the hair so that I can see exactly what I need to pluck. Once I've done the initial front layer, I like to grab a rat tail comb and just section off a little section here. This is very important, especially if you're someone that likes to do baby hairs. As you can see, once I've plucked it, there's quite a harsh line of demarcation, and that is exactly what you want to get rid of. You want it to be a smooth, consistent gradient. You don't want there to be any harsh lines. I pluck, and use the exact same technique as I did for the front, and then I section it back again, and I just keep doing this until I'm satisfied with how the wig looks. I found this wig super easy to pluck, and especially since we bleached the knots before, it almost softens the knots a little bit. They become a little bit more fragile, which makes plucking a lot easier. Once I've sectioned the hair off, I'm combing all the hair back again and looking at my work so far, and I'm just gonna keep at it until I'm happy with it. It is really personal preference on how plucked you like your wigs to be, but I personally like to go for a slightly more over plucked look because I find it to be a lot more natural. But as long as you have a gradient line and there's no line of demarcation, then you're good to go. And this is what my frontal looked like after I plucked both sides. It usually takes me about 25 minutes to pluck both sides, the entire hairline. And I'm really happy with how it came out. This is how much hair came out of my plucking session, which surprisingly wasn't that much. I'm now moving on to the styling portion of my wig. I just decided to go for a bone straight sleek look for this wig. As you can see, I'm literally just straightening it. There's not much to it, so I quickly just sped through this. I personally prefer styling my wigs on the mannequin head because it makes installing the hair so much quicker and so much easier because you can actually see what's going on in the back of your head. For the front of the wig, I use my bed head wax stick. As always, it is so important to use a wax when styling your wigs, guys. It's gonna really bring out all the hard work you did with the plucking and really bring out the hairline and accentuate things and make it look extra clean. So as you can see, I'm just applying it at the front and then grabbing a light hold hairspray. This is just a random one I had lying around. You want to make sure it is a light hold one because you don't want the front to be crunchy. So make sure you avoid got to be, just any hard hold hairsprays. Once I've got all of that applied, I'm now grabbing my hot comb and combing through the frontal, as you can see, and setting all that product. Once I've done the front, I now start sectioning off the hair section by section and repeating the exact same process, and this is going to make sure that the wig lays as flat as possible. The key for this is to make sure that you have a really hot comb. So I usually let my hot comb heat up for about an hour, 45 minutes. To really make sure I can maximize the temperature, because the hotter the hot comb, the flatter the wig gets. And along with the wax and the light hold hairspray combo, it really locks in that flat look. I'm repeating the exact same thing to the other side, and this is the finished look. As you can see, it looks so clean, and this is how you get that perfect salon finish wig look. Here's a little close-up of the final look, and as you can see, it is just so clean, guys. The more work you do on your mannequin head, the less you'll have to do on your actual head, and it's going to make sure that you breeze through the install. Moving on to the actual wig installation, here I am finally. Here's another look of how the wig looks. As you can see, it is flat as hell. Now, another very important step that you don't want to skimp out on is tinting your lace, especially if you are dark skin, brown skin, or have any type of melanin in your skin. For this, I like to use my liquid foundation, and I just pour a little bit on the back of my hand and grab a dense kabuki brush and press that into the lace. Tinting the lace is going to make sure that it matches your skin tone completely and blends completely seamlessly, so that it looks like your scalp. You really want to take your time with this. I used to use a face powder as well. I've used lace tints, but I found that my foundation works the best and matches my skin the best. Once I've tinted the lace, I'm going to put the wig on and adjust it to how I want it to sit on my head. Now, as you can see, because we've done the styling, I don't have to worry about straightening the hair, hot combing, or doing any of that stuff, apart from general touch-ups. Once the wig is adjusted to my liking, I'm going to start by cutting off the excess lace on either side of the ear, as you can see I'm doing here. And once that is done, I'm grabbing my scissors again, cutting little slits into the lace. This is going to help break up where you need to glue your wig, especially really good for beginners because you can take your time gluing down the lace rather than doing a whole entire strip all at once. For my glue, I always use my Better Than Melt wig glue. I love this glue. It doesn't give me a reaction like Ghost Bond, and it keeps my wig super secure. So I always use this and pull the lace back and start applying it on the back of my eyebrow razor. I usually do about 3 to 4 layers of this glue, and you want to make sure that you wait for each layer to dry completely clear, guys, completely clear. You don't want to see any white in the glue when you start pressing down the lace, as you can see I'm doing here. So I press down the lace, I hold it down for about 10 seconds before grabbing a little comb and combing the hairs into the glue. This is going to help everything blend seamlessly and make sure that the lace is securely bonded to the glue and your skin. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this exact same process to either side of the hair, really taking my time in gluing down the wig. This is very essential if you want your installs to last and in general just look completely perfect and seamless. So again, waiting for the wig glue to dry completely clear, I'm pressing down on it and then grabbing a comb to make sure everything is bonded securely. Once I've done this, you don't have to do this, but I've noticed for some reason, maybe because I sweat more there, but the sides of my wig never stay down. So I always grab a bit of Got2b hairspray and spray it on either side of my head, not the front, just anywhere that it usually lifts faster. And I just hold it down, spray and dry it with my hairdryer. Once all of this is done, I just separate off my sideburns and begin cutting the lace. Now to cut the lace, I use my eyebrow razor. I've tried using scissors, I've tried using the zigzag scissors that I've seen people use, but honestly guys, invest in some eyebrow razors. These are like £10 on Amazon. They're the best thing you'll ever buy for your wig because it doesn't create any harsh lines when you're cutting the lace, and it makes it look naturally feathered, meaning the lace will blend completely seamlessly into your skin. So please guys, if you want to elevate your lace frontal looks, use an eyebrow razor. Once I've got all that cut, I'm grabbing my Wiggins melt band and tying that super tight around my head for about 10 minutes before taking it off. This is going to make sure that I give the glue a chance to completely melt into my skin. Once this is done, I take off the wig band and I grab a little bit of powder and foundation and just continue blending in the lace a little bit more. You'll see throughout the video that I do touch it up quite a lot just to make sure it's perfect. I also go in with some foundation powder in the parting and really make sure that I accentuate and highlight that part. This is going to help the wig look a lot more natural and seamless. Once I've sorted out the blend, I'm now going to move on to cutting the baby hairs. But before that, this is what the lace looks like. If you're not a baby hair girl, you can absolutely leave it here. But I love a good fluffy baby hair. So for that, I'm now going to grab my rat tail comb, parting it from the last third of my eyebrow towards my ear. And I'm just going to go down in a diagonal line. You don't want to grab too much of this, and just play around with how dramatic you want your baby hairs to look. Depending on how dramatic you want your baby hairs to look, you might want to grab more or less hair, but this is usually my guideline that I stick to. I hot comb the rest of the hair back so I can really focus on the baby hairs, and then grab my eyebrow razor and then cut the baby hairs to my desired length. I usually go shorter towards the front of my face and longer towards the sides. Once those are cut, I'm now grabbing my mini hair straighteners and curling inwards towards my face. I also wanted to add that I use my eyebrow razor to cut the baby hairs again because it creates that feathered look and it looks so much more natural rather than scissors, which would create a very blunt finish. So yeah, like I said, eyebrow razors are honestly my lifesaver. Once I've curled all the baby hairs inwards, I'm grabbing a light hold hairspray and playing around with how it lays. This is very difficult to explain, but essentially I'm just sweeping the baby hairs and I'm kind of giving them a life of their own. Them go where they want to go, and I just guide the hairspray and my finger in the direction that they want to go in. I like to use a light hold hairspray again rather than mousse or got to be hairspray because it creates a much lighter, natural, fluffy baby hair rather than a stuck down molded baby hair. I just prefer this look, but you can of course do whatever you like if you prefer a more defined baby hair look. I'm doing the exact same thing to the other side. I'm spraying the back of my edge brush and guiding the baby hairs where I want them to sit. Once this is done, I'm just grabbing my wax stick and just finishing off the sides of my hair, again with the hot comb, going back in and making sure it's completely flat before grabbing my Wiggins melt band again and just securing my hair for another 5 minutes. This is just to make sure that the baby hairs stay in place and don't go anywhere. While I'm setting my baby hairs, I'm just quickly gonna re-straighten my hair, literally just doing a quick pass through just to make sure it's super sleek and to get rid of any kinks or knots that I had due to installing the wig. As you can see, this hair is super silky, guys. It is moving like water. Like I said at the start, it is so soft. I'm recording this voiceover around 2 weeks after I installed this, and trust me, the hair is still moving the same. I've had so many compliments on it and I just can't get over how smooth and silky it is. Like, just the video speaks for itself, guys. To finish off, I'm grabbing a tiny bit of my oil reflections and applying it to my hair. You want the tiniest dot of this. You don't want to go overboard, again, because you don't want to weigh down the hair. You want it to move, so avoid any heavy oils or heavy products. I'm taking off the wig band and this is the final result, guys. Look at that. It is perfect. This is a true bust down wig, guys. 26 inches. I'm around 5'6" and it reaches my hip bone, touches my bum. It is absolutely beautiful. I just love how the lace laid, the baby hairs, and I'm just obsessed, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found it very informative. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.